Brooklyn, New York, the birthplace of two of hip-hop's most influential icons. One was a poet of the streets, whose life was cut tragically short. The other a hustler-turned-businessman who rose to become the first billionaire in hip-hop. Together, their stories shaped a generation. This is the story of the Notorious B.I.G. and Jay-Z. Two friends, two kings of Brooklyn, whose paths crossed in life, in music, and in legacy. Christopher George Latore Wallace, better known as the Notorious B.I.G. or Biggie Smalls, was born on May 21, 1972, in Brooklyn, New York. Raised in the tough neighborhood of Bedford-Stuyvesant, Biggie grew up with his single mother, Valletta Wallace. Even as a child, Biggie had a gift for words. He loved storytelling, often making up rhymes on the spot. But the streets of Brooklyn were harsh. By his teenage years, Biggie was selling drugs to make money. Despite this, he excelled at rap battles in the neighborhood. His booming voice, clever punchlines, and vivid storytelling made him stand out. In 1992, a demo tape made its way to Shawn "Puffy" Combs, who signed Biggie to Bad Boy Records. In 1994, Biggie released his debut album, Ready to Die. Songs like Juicy and Big Papa made him a superstar overnight. He was the voice of the East Coast, bringing raw street stories to the mainstream. Across Brooklyn, in the Marcy Projects, another young man was coming of age. Born Shawn Carter on December 4, 1969, Jay-Z grew up surrounded by poverty and crime. His father left when he was young, leaving his mother to raise him and his siblings. Like Biggie, Jay-Z turned to the streets to survive, hustling to make money. But he also had a passion for music. He earned the nickname Jazzy as a kid, which later evolved into Jay-Z. In the late 1980s and early 90s, Jay-Z sharpened his skills in the underground rap scene. He performed with mentor Jaz-O, appearing on tracks like The Originators. But record labels didn't believe in him. Instead of giving up, Jay-Z built his own lane. In 1995, along with Damon Dash and Kareem "Biggs" Burke, he co-founded Rockefeller Records. The next year, he dropped his debut album, Reasonable Doubt. With songs like Dead Presidents and Can't Knock the Hustle, Jay-Z proved he was destined for greatness. By the mid-1990s, both Biggie and Jay-Z were rising stars in Brooklyn. Though they came from different corners of the borough, they respected each other's grind. Biggie saw Jay-Z as a lyrical equal. Jay-Z admired Biggie's storytelling and charisma. They began collaborating, most famously on Jay-Z's track, Brooklyn's Finest from Reasonable Doubt. The song was more than just music. It was two kings of Brooklyn trading bars side by side, showing the world the power of their city. Their chemistry was undeniable. Many believed the two were on the verge of building a long-term partnership that could have reshaped hip-hop. Biggie's career skyrocketed with his second album, Life After Death. Released in 1997, just weeks after his death, it featured classics like Hypnotize and Mo Money Mo Problems. But Biggie's life was filled with tension. The East Coast versus West Coast feud, fueled by media and rivalries, put him at the center of hip-hop's most dangerous era. On March 9, 1997, after leaving a party in Los Angeles, the Notorious B.I.G. was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting. He was only 24 years old. His murder remains unsolved to this day. The world lost one of its greatest storytellers. But for Jay-Z, the loss was deeply personal. He had lost a friend, a collaborator, and a brother in music. After Biggie's death, many wondered who would carry the torch for New York hip-hop. Jay-Z stepped up. He released In My Lifetime Volume, one later in 1997, but it was his 1998 album, Volume 2, Hard Knock Life, that made him a superstar. The title track, sampling Annie, became a global hit. Jay-Z often credited Biggie as an influence and carried his legacy forward. On several songs, he referenced Biggie's lyrics, not to copy, but to honor him. In many ways, Jay-Z became the figure that Biggie might have been had he lived. Jay-Z's career only grew bigger. He dropped classic albums like The Blueprint, 2001, and The Black Album, 2003. But beyond music, he proved himself as a businessman. He co-founded Rocawear Clothing, invested in sports, co-owned the 4040 Club, and later became part owner of the Brooklyn Nets. Through Roc Nation, he built an empire managing artists, athletes, and producing music. In 2019, Jay-Z was officially declared hip-hop's first billionaire. From the Marcy Projects to becoming one of the most powerful men in entertainment, his journey was unmatched. Though their time together was short, the bond between Biggie and Jay-Z represents the best of Brooklyn hip-hop. Biggie gave the world timeless classics, his voice still echoing as one of rap's greatest storytellers. Jay-Z showed us how to build. This has been the story of the Notorious B.I.G. and Jay-Z, two legends, whose paths crossed in the heart of Brooklyn. One's life ended too soon, but the other carried the legacy forward, turning pain into progress and hustle into history. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below on which hip-hop legend story you want us to cover next.